कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णापष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते महाविष्णु गोस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णापष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जगत गुरु शिला प्रपात की जय, शिला गुरुदेव महाश्री गोसाई महाराज की जय, भगवत गीता एडिटीज की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम पुराण की जय, नेक्टर ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस की जय। नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we will continue our discussion or our study of text number 5 from Nectar of Instructions. So I'll recite the verse and then we will recite. Yeah, we'll recite. All other devotees will recite. Jai. कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसाद्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रस्य भज्नविद्यम् अनन्यमन्या निन्दादिशून्यहृदम् इप्सिता संगलब्ध्या। All right. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Puna Pragya Mataji, His Grace Krishna Samapan Krishnadas Prabhuji for arranging these classes and for training us. Thank you, His Grace Sanjeev Prabhuji, Her Grace Dolly Mataji, His Grace Sheetal Prabhuji and Her Grace Namrata Mataji for training us in these programs. Krishne Teyasya Giritam Manasa Triyeta Dikshasti Chet Pranatibhishta Bhajantamisham शुश्रूषया भजनविघ्नमनन्यमन्या निन्दादिशून्यहृदमीप्सिता सङ्गलब्ध्या। Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice, Mataji. Right, who's there? Arjun Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Sorry, can't hear you properly.
Can you hear me now, Prabhuji?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, Prabhuji. Can you hear me now, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Sorry, there is lots of disturbance and the network is not actually good.
Okay. No worries.
Thank you, Shri Sanjeev Prabhuji, and just Purna Padma Mataji and his guest Krishna Prabhuji for training us, and thank you his guest Sanjeev Prabhuji and her guest Dolly Mataji, his guest Sita Prabhuji and her guest Namata Mataji for training us in this area. Krishne Priyasya Giritam Manasa Diyeta Diksha Stichetanatibhischa Bhajantamisham Shushrusaya Bhajana Vigna Mananya Manya Nindadisunyardam Ikshita Sangalabhya
Thank you.
Krishne Tiyasya Giritam Manasadiyeta Dikshasti Chetana Subhischa Bhajantamisham Ishrusaya Bhajana Vigna Mananyanya Nindadisunyardam Ikshita Sangalabhya. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. All right, so I think Mataji is with us as well. Hare Krishna Mataji, Shrishti Mataji. Okay, I think if other devotees can recite, if they want to recite, then while we waiting.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Brish Prabhuji, and thank you, Her Grace Purna Pragna Devidasi Mataji. Thank you, His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Das Prabhuji, and thank you, His Grace Ambrish Prabhuji, and thank you all the devotees for reciting the verse. Thank you. Krishneti yashya giritam manasajriyeta दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजनं विकनं मनन्यमन्या निन्दातिशून्यहृदम् इप्सिता सङ्गलाभ्या.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Yes. Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Purna Pragya Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for training us. And thank you very much, His Grace Sanjeev Prabhuji and His Grace Shita Prabhuji for taking our classes. Krishneti yasya giritam manasatriyeta dikshasti cheta pranatim vishya bhajantamisham शुश्रूषया भजन विघ्नम् अनन्यमन्या निन्दादिशून्यरुदमम् इप्सितः सङ्गलभ्य.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. All right. Hare Krishna, Shrishti Mataji, you'll be able to recite. Hare Krishna, Shrishti Mataji, can you hear me?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, I can hear you. Able to hear me?
Can you recite the verse, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Purna Pragna Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhuji for organizing his classes and training us. Thank you, His Grace Shita Prabhuji, Her Grace Namrata Mataji, His Grace Sanjeev Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji for training us. कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसान्द्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत प्रणितिभिश्च भजन्तमीशं शुश्रूषया भजना विघ्नम् अनन्यमन्य निन्दादिशून्यहृदम् इप्सिता सङ्गलब्ध्या.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. All right. So before we progress further, I'll just I would like to say thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhu, Her Grace Pragya Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Smarpan Krishna Prabhu for giving me this chance and training us, guiding us, and organizing these programs for benefit of all of us. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Shila Gurudev ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Right. So let's read the translation first. Okay, I think Arjun Prabhuji is also not very good reception. So Divanshi Mataji is there. Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others.
Yes. Jai. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All right, so we will start reading the purport. We actually we stopped here last week, but I would like to share one more point, the one para before. So we will start from just one para before. All right, Mataji, you can.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
One should not accept a spiritual master without following his instructions. Nor should one accept a spiritual master just to make a fashionable show of spiritual life. One must be Jignasu, very much inquisitive to learn from the bona fide spiritual master. The inquiries one makes should strictly pertain to transcendental science. Jignasu Shreya Uttamam. The word Uttamam refers to that which is above material knowledge. Tama means the darkness of this material world, and Ut means transcendental. Generally, people are very interested in inquiring about mundane subject matters, but when one has lost such interest and is simply interested in transcendental subject matters, he is quite fit for being initiated. When one is actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master, and when he seriously engages in the service of the Lord, he should be accepted as a Madhyam Adhikari.
Yes. Yeah, we discussed about this point, like initiation point, last week. His Grace Amrish Prabhu very nicely explained. And so, so the point here is that I wanted to say that spiritual master, we should not accept spiritual master without following his instructions. So, as Srila Prabhupada said, that it's not a fashionable show. So, following instructions are very important. And until we don't know what the instructions are and we don't associate with the like-minded devotees in the same mood, that until then we should not accept the spiritual master. So how we will find out what are the instructions? So we by associating with his disciples, or there are different spiritual masters and their mood is different, and because they are all serving the Lord, but in different moods. So once we are attracted to a particular mood and following the instructions and associating with like-minded devotees in same mood, then we can receive the mercy of our spiritual master. Because spiritual master is divine. Spiritual master is alive in his instructions. Spiritual master never dies. So next point here is Jignasu Shreya Uttamam. means inquiry from transcendental, inquiries on transcendental science. So we discussed this point also, the Athato Brahma Jigyasa. So when we come to this point, we get frustrated from this material life, then we come to this point, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. So then is the real spiritual journey starts. So once we are following a particular mood and instructions, then we must inquire only about transcendental topics. We should not waste the valuable time of our spiritual master with mundane subject matters inquiries. So initiation means once you accept the instructions of spiritual master by heart and sincerely and seriously engage in the service of the Lord according and following the instruction. Yeah. So yeah, these are the two main points I wanted to clarify on this para, that it's not a fashion, as Srila Prabhupada said, that it's not a fashionable show. It's very serious matter, accepting spiritual master and the jignasa or the inquiries, what sort of inquiries we make, that is also important. All right. So now we start with reading further. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Prabhuji. The chanting of the holy names of Krishna is so sublime that if one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra offenselessly, carefully avoiding the 10 offenses, he can certainly be gradually elevated to the point of understanding that there is no difference between the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself. One who has reached such an understanding should be very much respected by neophyte devotees. One should know for certain that without chanting the holy name of the Lord offenselessly, one cannot be a proper candidate for advancement in Krishna consciousness. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, verse 69, it is said, Prabhuji, I don't know the meter for Chaitanya Charitamrita. Can you?
Yes, the previously you sang is the right meter, Madhavi.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Yahar Komal Shraddha se Kanistha Jana, Krame Krame Tenho Bhakta, Haibe Uttama.
It's
One
in
who's,
Bengali, so it's a little
yeah,
bit different than Sanskrit.
yes, Prabhuji. One whose faith is soft and pliable is called a neophyte. But by gradually following the process, he will rise to the platform of a first class devotee. Everyone begins his devotional life from the neophyte stage. But if one properly finishes chanting this prescribed number of rounds of Harinam, he is elevated step by step to the highest platform, Uttamadhikari. The Krishna consciousness movement prescribes 16 rounds daily because people in the Western countries cannot concentrate for long periods while chanting on beads. Therefore, the minimum number of rounds is prescribed. However, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that unless one chants at least 64 rounds of japa, 100,000 names, he is considered fallen, patita. According to his calculation, practically every one of us is fallen. But because we are trying to serve the Supreme Lord with all seriousness and without duplicity, we can expect the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is famous as Patita Pavana, the deliverer of the fallen.
Yeah. So here, the first point is offenseless chanting, as Srila Prabhupada explains. Once we receive the instructions on the process of devotional service and chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then we should also know the 10 offenses against the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The 10 offenses that we recite every morning in the morning program. So those 10 offenses are the so we should be aware of those 10 offenses and while we're doing chanting, and we must know these by heart. So while chanting, we should not commit these offenses. Then we can become the proper candidate for advancing in Krishna consciousness. So those 10 offenses are the number one, to blaspheme the devotees who are dedicated their life in propagating the holy name of the Lord. Number 2, to consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Number 3, to disobey the orders of spiritual master. Number 4, to blaspheme the Vedic literature and persons of the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of the chanting of the holy name imagination. Number 6, to give mundane interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities in the strength of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Number 8, to consider the chanting of the name one of auspicious ritualistic activity offered in the Vedas as fruitive activity or karma kand. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Number 10, to not number 10 to still maintain the material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Any devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must strictly guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, which is Krishna Prema, love of God. Let us pray in the lotus feet of all the Vaishnava devotees. Vancha kalpatrubhascha kripa sindhu bhavacha patita nam pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Yeah, so these offenses, the 10 offenses, we should be mindful and while we're doing the chanting. So offenseless chanting is the first point here Srila Prabhupada is talking about. So in this reference, it is said that gradually following the process, one can rise to first-class devotee platform. So we are started the chanting of the holy name by the instructions of our seniors and our mentors. So while chanting, the offenses are there, like 3 stages of devotees: Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, and Uttam Adhikari. Similarly, there are 3 stages of chanting also: Nam Aparadh, chanting with offenses, and Nam Abhas, chanting without offenses, and Shuddha Nam, or the pure chanting with the pure love. So Srila Prabhupada are an acharya, an authority. So he can change the regulation or process according to the time, place, and circumstances. Srila Prabhupada knew that the modern society people, they cannot concentrate for very long. So he set 16 rounds of chanting minimum every day and prayed to the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Mahaprabhu is called Patita Pavan, the deliverer of the fallen. Otherwise, Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, he said that it's 64 rounds. If we're not doing 64 rounds, we are fallen. But Srila Prabhupada went to the West and he knew the modern lifestyle and how degraded we are. So by extreme causeless mercy, Srila Prabhupada set forth this regulation, 16 rounds minimum. But it's a minimum, so it's not like maximum. So we have to do more. So this is the points from this paragraph. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, 1 second.
Yes.
When Srila Satyaraj Khan, a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, asked the Lord how a Vaishnav could be recognized, the Lord replied, Prabhu kahe yanra mukhe shuni eka bar, Krishna nama se puja shreshtha sabakar. If one hears a person say even once the word Krishna, that person should be accepted as the best man out of the common group. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 15, verse 106. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, Ataiva Yandra Mukhe Eka Krishna Nama Seita Vaishnava Karihatanhara Sammana. One who is interested in chanting the holy name of Krishna, or who by practice likes to chant Krishna's names, should be accepted as a Vaishnav and offered respects as such, at least within one's mind. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 15, verse 111. One of our friends, a famous English musician, has become attracted to chanting the holy names of Krishna. And even in his records, he has several times mentioned the holy name of Krishna. At his home, he offers respect to pictures of Krishna and also to the preachers of Krishna consciousness. In all regards, he has a very high estimation for Krishna's name and Krishna's activities. Therefore, we offer respects to him without reservation. For we are actually seeing that this gentleman is advancing gradually in Krishna consciousness. Such a person should always be shown respect. The conclusion is that anyone who is trying to advance in Krishna consciousness by regularly chanting the holy name should always be respected by Vaishnavas. On the other hand, we have witnessed that some of our contemporaries, who are supposed to be great preachers, have gradually fallen into the material conception of life because they have failed to chant the holy name of the Lord.
Yes. So I'll just, for the first reference, yeah. Here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are saying that Prabhu kahe yanar mukhe suni ek baar Krishna nama sei pujya shreshta sabkar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, whoever chants the holy name of Krishna just once is worshipable and is the topmost human being. Just would like to share one point from the purport. Srila Prabhupada are saying that a devotee who believes that the holy name of the Lord is identical with the Lord is a pure devotee, even though he may be in the neophyte stage. By his association, others may also become Vaishnavas. One is known as a materialistic devotee if he simply worships the deity of Hare with faith, but does not show proper respect to the devotees and to others. So we talked about Kanishta Adhikari. It doesn't matter. We got the initiation and we doing simply worshipping the deity of Lord Hari and with faith, but doesn't show proper respect to other devotees and to others, then it is a Kanishta stage. So first reference here, this reference about Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is a Vaishnava. So whoever chants the holy name of Krishna just once is worshipable. Srila Prabhupada are saying that chanting of the holy name offenselessly is more important than only deity worship without respecting devotees. So at neophyte stage, also a devotee can chant the holy name of the Lord without offenses if he is serious and following all the regulations and instructions strictly. And this is in the next reference, it is explained by Srila Prabhupada. The next reference is, hold on. Yeah. Yeah, next reference. Atvena yanar mukhe eka Krishna nam Saita Vaishnava Kariha Tanahara Samana. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then finally advised, one who is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna mantra, is understood to be a Vaishnava. Therefore, you should offer all respect to him. Srila Prabhupada saying in the purport that Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur comments that serving Vaishnava is most important for householders. Whether a Vaishnava is properly initiated or not is not a subject for consideration. One may be initiated and yet contaminated by the Mayavad philosophy. But a person who chants the holy name of the Lord offenselessly will not be so contaminated. A properly initiated Vaishnava may be imperfect, but one who chants the holy name of the Lord offenselessly is all perfect. Although he may apparently be a neophyte, he still has to be considered a pure, unalloyed Vaishnava. So, Srila Prabhupada are giving this example here about the, referring Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, saying about the Vaishnava, about the initiation. Like, if it doesn't matter if it's not properly initiated, but offenseless chanting is more important. Why is the chanting is more important? Because chanting is the Yuga Dharma. So we discussed at this point before that Yuga Dharma is chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So offenseless chanting is very, very important. So unless we are come to that stage, we won't be able to progress. So at neophyte, it doesn't matter. At neophyte stage also, Prabhupada are saying that we can chant offenselessly and become all perfect. You know? So yes, that's the that's the main point here, that the chanting of the holy name is more important than the initiation. Okay, so then Srila Prabhupada are talking about the famous singer. Srila Prabhupada are giving the example about the famous Beatle band member George Harrison here, that he was very much attracted to Krishna consciousness and respected devotees, although he was not formally initiated by Srila Prabhupada. So this is the example that real initiation is when you follow the instructions of spiritual master by heart. Bhagavad Vidhi initiation is not formal initiation for deity worship. Basically, initiation means receiving the Divya Gyan, transcendental knowledge, and Srila Prabhupada has given all the knowledge in his purports and translations of revealed scriptures. Spiritual master connects a devotee to the parampara by initiation. Once we follow instructions of our Guru Maharaj under the guidance of living link, then we are connected with parampara by Bhagavad Vidhi, where no formal initiation needed. So Srila Prabhupada gave the example of George Harrison here. On the other hand, Srila Prabhupada are saying that who are supposed to be great preachers have gradually fallen. And Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur are saying that, which is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada in the purport, that I already mentioned that point, that one may be initiated and yet contaminated by Mayavad philosophy. But a person who chants the holy name of the Lord offenselessly will not be so contaminated. So this needs to be understood thoroughly, that what is initiation and what is chanting of the holy name of the Lord offenselessly means, you know. So yes, so example here is very appropriate by Srila Prabhupada, that we know that the famous Beatle George Harrison, he wanted to take initiation, but Srila Prabhupada suggested not, because he was doing and he could preach more without that. And that's how the Acharya, he can see, and because he's always thinking about how to expand Krishna consciousness and how to do it more properly and according to the current time, place, and circumstances. So yes, so it's not that we need to understand this concept about initiation, because it's too many misconceptions going around, and that's why we're clearing it here, and His Grace Amrish Prabhu also explaining how this whole concept is. Okay, so yeah, I think that's we covered this point. Now we will read further.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I just had a question regarding the previous discussion of the three kinds of chanting.
Yes,
So
yes.
you said, and there's Namapradh and Namabhas and Shuddhanam. So what is the difference between Namabhas and Shuddhanam? You said Namabhas is without offenses, but Shuddhanam is pure, holy, pure chanting. So how
Yes.
are the two different? This one.
Yes, yes, Mataji. It will come in next coming verses as well. And but yeah, Namabhas is when we having less offenses. We are aware of the offenses, and we just have abhas. We don't we don't reach there yet. So we get glimpse of it, you know. But Shuddhanam is when you are totally engrossed in pure love. That's the highest stage that I haven't experienced. So I'm still have a try to understand what it is. So we can actually ask this question later on to His Grace Amrish Prabhu because he's more experienced. So, but I understand that offense, that nama prad, that when we start chanting, we do a prads, we do, our mind goes here, there, and everywhere, and then we try to concentrate on chanting. And but nama bhas is when we are aware of these offenses. Okay, all right, their offenses are there. We should not be committing, and we should be concentrating. And so slowly, sometimes we get some glimpse. Sometimes we feel, So nama bhas, we get abhas. So yes. But Shuddhanam is totally different level. Uh, we are all, yeah, as we said, the Uttam Adhikari stage. Mm, Yes. But
Hare
this Nama Bhas also can be done by like neophyte devotees or Madhyam Adhikari devotees. It's not like, yes, you can, when you are aware of offenses, yes,
Yes.
that's my
Uh,
understanding. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, a follow-up to that is like in the purport, the line read something like that a devotee who believes that the holy name is identical with the Lord is a pure devotee, even if he is in the neophyte stage.
Yes.
So, uh, like how can that be like how can both of the things, how can a neophyte, a devotee in the neophyte stage
Hmm.
be still a pure devotee?
Hmm.
Because like in one of the ways that we define the neophyte devotee is that his faith is a little uh
Weak.
not
Weak.
very,
It will
yeah,
come. It will
yeah.
come about the faith as well. Next references. Yes, Mataji. Sorry, you were saying more?
No, yeah, that was
Okay.
just my question, that how can somebody who's in the neophyte stage still be considered a pure devotee?
So we need to understand what is pure devotee is. So pure devotee, uh, that means pure, right? Pure devotee means sometimes we are so. I think we discussed this point before, and His Grace Amrish Prabhu also explained that pure, uh, like anybody can be pure devotees. Like neophyte stage devotee can be pure devotee, but will he remain on that pure devotion stage or pure devotee stage? That is thing. That is makes him Uttam Adhikari if he's always pure devotee, all the time, 100%, every stage, every moment. But we also get, as I said, we get glimpse, so we are following the path. But pure devotee is, yes, pure devotion service. We are following for pure devotion service, unalloyed devotion service, where is no contamination of any karam kand or any other, jnana yoga or fruity work or all those things. So pure devotion service is exclusive Krishna consciousness. That is pure devotion service. So if we are new, if you understood it, and if any neophyte stage, you understood the concept, you understood everything, and you're following that, yes, you can be pure devotee. But to remain on that stage is very, yes, it's different. Is it correct, Mataji? Like you
Yeah.
understood what I said?
Yes, Prabhuji, I understand. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for answering my
Oh,
question.
thank you, Mataji. But this is good question. We'll also ask this to His Grace Amrish Prabhu later on. Yes, thank you. So, where was- yes. Yes, Mataji, from
Yes.
here.
While giving instructions to Sanatan Goswami, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided devotional service into 3 categories. शास्त्र युक्ति नहीं जाने दृढ़ श्रद्धावान मध्यम अधिकारी से महाभाग्यवान. A person whose conclusive knowledge of the Shastras is not very strong, but who has developed firm faith in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and who is also undeterred in the execution of his prescribed devotional service, should be considered a Madhyam Adhikari. Such a person is very fortunate. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 22, verse 67. A Madhyam Adhikari is a Shraddhavan, a staunchly faithful person, and he's actually a candidate for further advancement in devotional service. Therefore, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, verse 64, it is said, Shraddhavan Janahaya, Bhakti Adhikari, Uttama Madhyama Kanishta, Shraddha Anusari. One who becomes qualified as a devotee on the elementary platform, the intermediate platform, and the highest platform of devotional service, according to the development of his Shraddha, faith. Again in Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya Leela, chapter 22, verse 62, it is said, Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe Shraddha Nishchaya. Sorry, 1 second. Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe Sudrida Nishchaya Krishne Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritahaya. By rendering transcendental service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. This confident, firm faith favorable to the discharge of devotional service is called Shraddha. Shraddha, faith in Krishna, is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. Faith means strong faith. The words of Bhagavad Gita are authoritative instructions for faithful men, and whatever Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita is to be accepted as it is, without interpretation. This was the way Arjuna accepted Bhagavad Gita. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna told Krishna, Sarvam etad dhritam manye yad mam vadasi Keshava. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 14.
Yes. Yes, Mataji, we stop here. So there are 3 references here Srila Prabhupada are giving. So we'll take one reference at a time. So this is the first reference. Shraddhavan Janahaya Bhakti Adhikari Uttama Madhyama Kanishta Shraddha Anusari. A faithful devotee is a truly eligible candidate for the loving service of the Lord. According to one's faith, one is classified as topmost devotee, an intermediate devotee, or an inferior devotee. So it's according to the faith, Shraddha Anusari. So what is faith? So Srila Prabhupada are saying in the purport, the word Shraddhavan, faithful, means understanding Krishna to be the Sammam Bonam, the eternal truth and absolute transcendence. If one has full faith in Krishna and confidence in him, one becomes eligible to discharge devotion service confidentially. According to one's faith, one is topmost, intermediate, or inferior devotees. So here in the first reference, yeah. In the first reference, the point is that from firm faith in Krishna and in the chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, make us the confidence, make us the good candidate in progressing in devotional service. Yes, everyone's capacity is different to understand the scriptures and grasping the transcendental knowledge. Srila Prabhupada are saying that one's knowledge of Shastra may not be very strong, but from faith in chanting and understand, and the execution of prescribed devotional service makes him Madhyama Adhikari. So we must not judge a devotee on his scriptural knowledge. Although revealed scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are not very complicated, and they are like other complicated scriptures like Vedanta Sutra and Vedas, but we should read those scriptures and try to understand. And with chanting of the holy name of Mahamantra, that will increase our faith in Krishna. So with the strong faith, we becomes qualified in progressing of devotion service. So faith comes from when we associate with devotees, when we study philosophy, and then we chant the holy name of the Lord. So our faith increases. Our faith becomes from weak to strong. That's why we said, the neophyte stage or Kanishta Adhikari have a weak faith because he just started. He doesn't know it. So he's learning. So when progressing, the faith should increase. So firm faith is required. So our faith should be very, very strong. Like no matter what happened, we carry on doing Krishna consciousness or devotional service. And in the second reference, it's clarified that the topic that according to the faith, one is classified as the this is in this reference, that first, second, and third class of devotees. So he requires, because the third class, when we say that the neophyte stage, the devotee requires protection. He requires guidance constantly. So otherwise, the wrong association of Mayavadis or other philosophy, a neophyte's faith gets rattled, and he may leave the devotion service or devotional path. But second class devotee's faith is strong, and he is well established in philosophy and study revealed scriptures. He can differentiate in innocent and atheist and behave with them accordingly. So his faith cannot be rattled or shaken by any situation or philosophy. So he becomes the good candidate for preaching. So now the first class devotee, he is a Mahabhagavat. So he is 100% dependent on Krishna. So his faith is firm. By seeing him, one gets reminded of remembrance of Krishna. So such a Mahabhagavat devotee's association is rare and it is most desired in order to receive the pure devotion service. So Srila Prabhupada are saying that the point in this purport that the word Shraddhavan or faithful, that means understanding Krishna to be the Sammam Bonam. So Krishna is Sarva Karana Karanam and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This clarity and understanding we must develop. Then our faith gets stronger. Otherwise, at neophyte stage, you hear this and that, Krishna is different, or other gods are there, other demigods are there. No. So once we have clarity, once we study scriptures, or once we are in association and come to know all this philosophy, then our faith increases, our faith becomes stronger. And in the third reference, it talks about what is faith or Shraddha really means. So firm faith is having confidence in Krishna. When we follow devotion service seriously and by heart, then we do not need to perform other pious activities and fruitive activities or karma separately, because Krishna consciousness is topmost of all the pious activities. How? Srila Prabhupada are saying that the best achievement of all fruitive activities is detachment from material life. And this detachment is spontaneously enjoyed by the devotee, firmly engaged in the Lord's service. So this is the main point to be understood here, that all the karma and pious activities, charity, other philanthropic activities, all we do are for achieving, some spiritual position or some spiritual credit or detachment from the material world. After all the material activities, they bind us, either good or bad. So the ultimate aim is detachment. But in Krishna consciousness, this detachment is spontaneously achieved by a devotee, because a pure devotee is always engaged in Krishna activities and automatically detached from material life. So it is spontaneous, not forced on us. It comes naturally. So it is spontaneous for him. Now, this is what we are our own judge, that do we have this spontaneity in us, or do we have to force ourselves? Then we have to purify ourselves. See? So it's not like, okay, all right, I don't have this natural feeling, or naturally it doesn't come, I have to force myself. Yes, we have to force ourselves for start, because our heart is contaminated. Our heart is, because of so much conditioning happening in so many birth times. So it will take time to purify. But this is what Shraddha is. We have confidence in Krishna. We have confidence in process, in Krishna consciousness process or devotional service, in our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. So one day we will get purified. But the condition is that we keep following it. We keep, seriously and honestly endeavoring it, not just leaving it. So hold on, I think I forgot to share the references. Hold on, where is it? Oh yeah, I forgot to share the references. I just quickly read what Srila Prabhupada have said here, that firm faith and confidence are called Shraddha. When one engages in the Lord's devotional service, he is to be understood to have performed all his responsibilities in the material world. He has satisfied his forefathers, ordinary living entities, and demigods, and is free from all responsibilities. Such a person does not need to meet his responsibilities separately. It is automatically done. Fruitive activity karma is meant to satisfy the senses of conditioned soul. However, when one awakens to Krishna consciousness, he does not have to work separately for pious activity. The best achievement of all fruitive activity is detachment from material life. And this detachment is spontaneously enjoyed by the devotee firmly engaged in the Lord's service. Yeah, this is the point I was mentioning from Srila Prabhupada's purport, that it is, first of all, for devotee, it is spontaneously comes. And second, that he doesn't have to work separately for pious activities. We people do a lot of pious activities, they do a lot of karam kand, they do a lot of religious other activities, yagna, sacrifices and all that. No, if you are you have firm faith, you have very strong faith and confidence in Krishna consciousness and Krishna and the process, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, then you don't have to do anything else separately, because you're doing it and you doing this process to please Krishna, and when Krishna is pleased, everyone is pleased. As Srila Prabhupada said, that you don't have to do it for your forefather, your any other people. All right. So this is the firm faith means here. So we are 100% confidence. And the last reference here was hold on, I think it's only 5 minutes left. So we can take this next week actually. But it's still a bit of left. So let me have a look. Yes. Yeah, we can take this last reference, Bhagavad Gita 10.14, and we can start from the next week, because it's time limitation. Quickly, if you have anything to clarify, if you have any question, or you can ask now. No. So I suggest Mataji, Divanshi Mataji, can you please note down those two questions about Shuddhanam and pure devotee, and then we can, in the end of this, when we conclude this verse, then I will request His Grace Amrish Prabhu for clarifying those points. All right. Okay, so we'll stop here. It's only 4 minutes left, and yeah, Srila Prabhupada